Hello there, it's Christine here. Today's video is about a deck I've just purchased called Ask the Witch, edited by Francesca Matteoni, hope I've said that right, and illustrated by Simon Pace. This deck caught my eye. It's a deck of cards of wise witches and a pinch of magic and a manual to learn how to read these cards. So the box is just beautiful. I'm not going to go too much into about it, in the sense that you've got a very good guidebook. You've got, when you pull a card, it gives you the tarot name of the card and the witch's name, Befana, and it gives you the history of that actual witch. Just for example, Befana, during the first nights of the new year, is an old witch who flies through the skies. Her clothes are simple, she rides on a traditional broom, and she knows how to navigate using the stars. In ancient folklore, she is the symbol of the year gone by and the keeper of the harvest that is to come. In most common traditions, she brings gifts for the children and brings back the capacity for childlike wonder in adults. She is called Befana, and she is both cantankerous and benevolent, much more so than other famous bearers of gifts in popular traditions. Befana fills our stockings with all that is sweet and bitter in our past experiences, teaching us that a new start is a new approach to our centre and to our essence. And according to Christian tradition, Befana showed the three wise men the way to the stable of the Christ child. They invited her to join them, but she arrived late and found neither the wise men nor the holy infant. That was the beginning of her winter adventure, bringing gifts to the children in the hopes that one of them would be Jesus and she could ask for his pardon. Perhaps she forgot her search as she began to delight in what she was doing. There's a divine infant in each of us, and in every life there is dignity. Befana comes down from the sky to remind us of our expectation for what is good in the judgment card. We find our vocation and we forgive the past. Our memory grows light and we cry tears of joy. Every gift is a reconciliation. So the witch's spells: positive vocation, acceptance, forgiveness and liberations. Negative unawareness, self-depreciation. I personally, in most readings, find the judgment card comes up when we are in need, or we have to give someone second chances, or a second chance is going to come our way. But as I said, it's a very good book, and if you look up the Francesca Matteoni, her historic knowledge of folklore, witch lore is second to none. And Simone Pace, these cards, the illustration, he has his own unique style, but I find it's sort of got a little bit of what's that sort of Japanese style, manga slant to it. It's just sort of universal. That's my thoughts on that. But different decks speak to different people, so I sort of thought I would just work with this. So beautifully boxed, wonderful. It's Rockpool Publishing, so generally with everything with Rockpool is of the finest quality. And this isn't really an unboxing video. I just wanted to do a reading of Ask the Witch. But I thought I'm not going to flick through them. I just thought I'd do some readings with them. So when I get a new deck, the first thing I do is clear the deck. I'm an old reader from, I first got cards in the 70s, and I've read cards all along, and I had my own shop in the 90s and used to read and mix with other readers that were professional readers. And for me, when I want to clear a deck, and there's many ways to clear a deck, I usually divide everything in fives, which I call the numbers of change. in numerology, and that sort of shifts the energy for me. There's many things you can do, like what gets said in books. You can do that, or you can just find your own way, what works for you, because at the end of the day it is about your unique connection with the deck. But having worked in expos and things and had to read boom 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 fast with one deck back in those days, I learnt that you could clear a deck by spreading it out into 5, and that's what works for me. And then I just bundle it up. I don't read reversals. These are new, so they're very stuffed. But this is what I would do normally. But I'd love to hear what you would do, because it's amazing. Everyone has their own style, because in my time we didn't have the internet and the sharing of knowledge like we have today. So you just had what was handed down to you from other old readers, being grandmothers, aunts, people in the street, you name it. So I just thought, let's ask the witch, and I thought I'd ask the witch, what time is it? We have the Page of Swords, we have the Ten of Cups, and we have the Two of Pentacles or coins. Wow. Must do something with my cameras, because it sort of likes to go like that. Look at that. This is the artwork. I hope you can see it nicely. For that. Is that clear enough? Let's hope so. Beautiful. Okay, looking at the cards, we have the Page of Swords. Here we have this wonderful energy swirling. There's energy swirling around. What time is it? It's time to, you've been feeling and experiencing energy swirling around you in your mind. What am I to do? What can I do? Or do I have the ability to do it? And it's time to just be able to trust with the Ten of Cups that everything's going to work out fine. Everything's as it should be. Once you calm the swirl in the mind, you then move into happiness and contentment, and it's time to do that, and trusting that you'll be able to deal with the busyness. You'll be able to deal with the decisions and that coming your way, because life is full of change, and we just move from thinking to calmness to then having to make some decision again. And that's the continuum of living of life, and knowing that we can find the balance with that, trusting we can find the balance. And I'm just going to see what's on the bottom for us. And we have the Fool. So don't be frightened to let and overthink things. Take the leap. If something you're thinking swirling around in your head and you need to think, what is it I want to do? Trust that everything's going to work out fine, knowing that you'll always have to have the balancing. That's just sort of part of life, and just go with it. Go with it. Don't be frightened to let your freak flag fly and do it. And I will just look up the witch, the Fool, because it's at the beginning of the book and it's easy to do with this deck. And that is Crazy Jane. Here we have here. And that's our surprise card with the reading. Next door to the home of the Irish poet and magician William Butler Yeats lived an elderly woman who was a bit mad. Because of her age and her mental state, she was very straightforward in expressing her thoughts. She was the poet's inspiration. When he created the figure Crazy Jane, the central character in the series of poems, it was her. She was old, promiscuous, witch-like, infantile and daring. Sounds like the freak flag I was talking about, letting that fly. She spoke to God about her love and fearlessly addressing the bishop, the symbol of conformity and modality and morality, and fear of foul near of kin, fear of needs foul, she told him in one poem, for nothing can be soul or whole. So that's that always weighing up. There's always two sides to everything. We want perfect, and it is perfect if we want to look at it, and happiness can be ours, but everything is always a duality. And this is confirming that with our crazy Jane. This extraordinariness is about knowing what rips and let the light come in. This extraordinary lady of the vagabonds is our introduction to the card of the fool, the free and the infinite potential in each of us. She is the forerunner of the witches, the goddesses, the women we will meet, and she holds them all in her rags, just as the number 0 holds all the numbers in the cosmic circle. Jane seems to sing out, "Recognize the magician in rivulets, in the patterns, in the dust, and the stubborn trust the heart has in life." There's a fragile balance between sky and earth, a game of leaves in the wind. It takes only an instant to fall, the same as it does to fly. So I think that encompasses our reading for today and just sort of puts it all into perspective. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this deck. Are you using this deck for yourself? Please let me know. And if you want me to do some Let's Ask the Witch readings again, I will be happy to continue asking the witch on your behalf. Bye for now.